Hello, everybody. Buddy with Midland, Texas. I'm going to do a little video for you today. And what I'm going to talk about is the police reports. It's not everything with the police reports because there's so much, so many different stories that it's going to take way longer than 10 minutes. And but specifically the police reports that were illegally withheld from me. Okay, I've got a little write up that said after I was shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut and burglar alarms going off in the attic back in 2012, my PI gave me a form to sign requesting the police reports. I was given some of them, but not all of them. At the time, I didn't know that they were withholding reports from me, but I do now. They did this because these reports implicated them in the crimes and or murders connected with my home, the police. A little less than 2 years after this home invasion and premeditated murder attempt, the ex-wife filed a protective order on me. My attorney then obtained a subpoena order in the Midland Police Department to turn over all police records. That's what we're looking here. This is the subpoena where it was signed by a judge ordering December 17, 2013, ordering the police department to turn over all records. Okay. Once again, the police hid certain reports from me and my attorney. We had no way of knowing that they had reports that they were not given to us as ordered by a court of law. They just snuffed their nose at the court order. Several years later, I noticed a couple of report numbers referenced that I didn't have, so I sent in an online information request asking for these reports. One of them was the police report for the night of the murder attempt. Once I got a copy of the report, say it was 7 years later, I saw that it timestamped 5 Midland police officers, Davis, Dickey, Chadwell, Angel, and Hale, at or inside my home when they were not seen arriving on the security cameras that saw Martin County Sheriff John Woodward and the late Midland County Deputy Mike Naylor arriving minutes earlier. So how did they get into my home without being seen on the cameras that saw other law enforcement officers? The answer is they came in from under my home, and it was somebody under my home that had shot me. It's possible that one of these police officers was the shooter, aka would-be killer, and that makes them suspects in the 4 murder deaths that Aaron Packelhofer told me happened here before they shot me. It's easy to see why they didn't want me to see this police report that time-stamped them here. Another police report that was illegally withheld from me was from December 9, 2012. That was later on in the year after I was shot. And it was when my Vivint alarm system that was in my attic noticed that somebody was in my attic, just like I was saying, and dispatched the police. Not me, the Vivint system. You can see this on the police report that they changed this alarm call to a warrant call and back to an alarm call. Okay. They were planning on arresting the crime victim, me, and I wasn't the one that called them. For some unknown reason, they changed their minds and came to my home. Once here, they refused to go up in my attic and look, and then call me crazy or 1096 on the police report. All kinds of crimes there, falsifying police reports, just all kinds of crimes here. 10 days later, Vivint dispatches them again, and the same thing happens. After this, I got letters from the city advising me that I would be fined if Vivint dispatches them again. They called these false alarms without ever investigating. And now it's known that there are many other homeowners who have reported people in the attic, and they're doing the same thing to these other crime victims. It's organized crime and racketeering with significant public corruption, and I believe connected with human trafficking. I'm going to show you the evidence on this. And one thing, I think I have it here. This is the public records request. That's where you can go to the city of Midland right there. You can Google it and find it, Midland Public City Records Request. Submit a records request, and you can ask for police reports. That's one way to ask for police reports. Okay. So here, what I'm going to show you here, I showed you the subpoena. Okay. Now, this was the police report. It was 7 years after the night. This was a police report for the night of the murder attempt. I didn't get to see it until 7 years later. Okay, it had been requested, they didn't send it, and then it was subpoenaed. They illegally withheld it, and then I just happened to see this report number, MP whatever, right there, and I sent in an online information request, said give me this number, and all of a sudden I get the report 7 years after the fact. And so I went through this report, and you see where I put names on them. Matt Davis, April Chandler, time-stamped it, broke it out. I figured out exactly what was happening on this report, okay? This is where I've figured out right here. This is the same report that's parsed out, and I put the timestamps to it. At 10:42, I was seen crawling out because my phone lines were cut. My cell phone was stolen, my phone lines cut, and they shot me by surprise. Somebody under my home. Okay, 19 minutes later, Woodward and Naylor are seen arriving in my home on my outside video cameras and with the spotlights on. Wasn't even dispatched. Okay, and then 2 minutes after that, Matt Davis is at my home, and that's what I'm showing. Matt Davis right here on scene. Okay, 2 more minutes, Lieutenant Tony Dickey is inside my home, and he also was not seen arriving. On the camera saw Woodward and Naylor inside. And then 11:18, Greg Chatwell, Kenny Angel were at my home. They wasn't seen arriving. And then Officer Dylan Hale was listed in my home, not seen arriving. Remember, 2 officers were seen arriving, and all these other ones are at or inside my home, and they're not seen arriving. Okay, and then 11:22, I have a video on that where they disabled my front cameras, and then at that point, anybody can come and go to my house all they want. Okay, this all happened before they disabled the cameras. So then the question is, how did these officers get at or in my home without being seen arriving? And the easy answer is they come in from under my home, trapdoor the ex-wife told me about, from where I was shot from, right? Ricky Ronaldo said he used to live here and used to go in the tunnels under this home. There's obviously a tunnel coming from the back of Home Depot aimed at my house, okay? I believe they used the Home Depot tunnel to get to my home, okay? But that doesn't show that on the police report because they falsified the police report, and that's against the law. Okay. This right here was Woodward Naylor showing up right here, and it's time stamped. Okay, and so they showed up at 11:01. Well, here's Dickey in my house at 11:05. No one in the house inside. Lots of odd things like booby traps. That was a lie by Tony Dickey. That's a picture of the liar right there. Tony Dickey, the dirty cop liar that was inside my home and was not seen arriving on security cameras, saw Woodward and Naylor. He came from under my home and was somebody under my home that cut my phone lines and shot me in a premeditated capital murder attempt. Maybe him, okay? Here's the Vivint calls, okay? And I'm going to show you here. They changed the call from alarm to a warrant. And then they changed it back from a warrant to alarm call. This is one of the police reports that they withheld. Michael Chandler was on this call at my house. He was the husband of Officer April Chandler. This is the second call right here. And both times they refused to investigate, called me crazy on the police reports. This time Chad Simpson was on the call, Stephen Brackett, and Chad Simpson was the Midland police officer that later killed himself, murdered his wife and killed himself. And I believe it has a connection to my house. Okay, here's the letter from the city of Midland where we're saying a false alarm, and that's where I got the number at. That's where I found out, oh, there's a police report number, and I don't have the number, okay, because they illegally withheld the police report. And here is a call that I heard on my police scanner one day. This is a short video here. It's going to play here in just a second. That's my address. I heard my own address on the police scanner. I posted it on Facebook. I made that video, and all of a sudden people start commenting and everything. I saw a car pull into my driveway and turn around and drive off. They changed their mind. I believe that they were coming over to arrest the crime victim, and here I'm the crippled crime victim that was reporting crimes to the police, and they were involved in these crimes of burglary, theft, murders, and it's going, and these people in the attic crimes are all over the nation. I mean, and all over Midland, Odessa. They falsify the police reports, calling crime victims crazy, and it's racketeering and organized crime that our police are involved in. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.